Daily Words of God. The Holy Spirit's work is always done spontaneously. He can plan His work at any time and carry it out at any time. Why do I always say that the work of the Holy Spirit is realistic, and that it is always new, never old, and always fresh to the highest degree? His work had not already been planned when the world was created. That is not at all what happened. Every step of work attains its proper effect for its respective time, and the steps do not interfere with one another. A lot of the time, the plans you might have in mind are simply no match for the Holy Spirit's latest work. His work is not as simple as man reasons it to be, nor is it as complex as man imagines. It consists of supplying people at any time and any place in accordance with their needs at the time. No one is clearer about the essence of humans than he is, and it is precisely for this reason that nothing can suit people's realistic needs as well as his work does. Therefore, from a human perspective, his work seems to have been planned several millennia in advance. As he works among you now, all the while working and speaking as he watches the states you are in, he has just the right words to say upon encountering each and every sort of state, speaking words that are precisely what people need. Take the first step of his work, the time of chastisement. After that, God conducted his work based on what people manifested, their rebelliousness, the positive states that emerged from them, and the negative states, as well as the lowest limit to which people could fall when those negative states reached a certain point. And he seized upon these things to achieve a much better result from his work. That is, he does sustaining work among people based on whatever their current state is at any given time. He carries out every step of his work according to people's actual states. All of creation is in his hands. How could he not know them? God carries out the next step of work that should be done, anytime and anywhere, in accordance with people's states. By no means was this work planned thousands of years beforehand. That is a human notion. He works as he observes the effects of his work, and his work continuously deepens and develops. Each time, after observing the results of his work, he implements the next step of his work. He uses many things to transition gradually and to make his new work visible to people over time. This manner of working can provide for people's needs, for God knows people all too well. This is how he carries out his work from heaven. Likewise, God incarnate does his work in the same way, making arrangements and working among humans according to actual circumstances. None of his work had been arranged before the world was created, nor had it been meticulously planned beforehand. 2,000 years after the world was created, Jehovah saw that humanity had become so corrupt that he used the mouth of the prophet Isaiah to foretell that after the age of law had ended, Jehovah would carry out his work of redeeming humanity in the age of grace. This was Jehovah's plan, of course, but this plan was also made according to the circumstances he was observing at the time. He certainly did not think of it immediately after having created Adam. Isaiah merely voiced a prophecy, But Jehovah had not made advanced preparations for this work during the age of law. Rather, he put it into motion at the beginning of the age of grace, when the messenger appeared in Joseph's dream to enlighten him with a message that God would become flesh. And only then did his work of incarnation begin. God had not, as people imagine, prepared for his work of incarnation right after creating the world. It was only decided based on the degree to which humanity had developed and the status of his war against Satan.